This conference will now be recorded.
Check, check. Can everyone hear me loud and clear? Okay, where did we leave off? Where did you go? Where did you stop hearing me? Did we start anything yet? After good morning. Oh, okay. So that works out perfect. So today is Wednesday, April 3rd. And as always, everything that we're going to be talking about is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. All right, so as I was saying, we're kind of following the trend of what we've been looking at during the pre-market. It's just not really a ton going on out there. I'm pretty much looking at two things, and one of them I probably shouldn't even be looking at. And even the number one thing, STNE, has some great prints out there, but one thing that we can definitely tell about this thing is even though the orders look thin, it has no problem whatsoever printing in larger bursts. So if we come back down all the way towards the beginning of this morning, we can see right here at 8:11 we had a pretty substantial size selling that came in at that 4150 level at 8:11. If we go all the way back to 8:11, we can see that it really did not pull up the way that it should. I mean, it moved up a little bit, but compared off that, I'm really going to be expecting from the amount of selling that we saw coming into here. You can see 4110 is another big one. 41, it's definitely mixed, but more selling than buying coming in. And then underneath that 41 level, definitely a ton of selling. So overall, even though it certainly looks, it's certainly showing down based off the amount of selling that we have, I wouldn't be shocked to see a pretty substantial pull-up come from all of that selling earlier, as well as that 4150 where it really did not show, didn't really give us the pullback that we would have been expecting. So overall, if it wasn't printing as much as it was, and it had a little bit of a better range, I mean, $1.85 is not bad at all. And based off the volume, we have 1.3 million shares already. I'm certainly going to be expecting it to, have a bigger range than that. But based off of that, a pull up to this print line here, I mean, it's only 26,000 shares. It was 930 yesterday. That came in at 42.79. But overall, I mean, would be a pretty perfect setup for it to get back up there just from the amount of selling that we had. But keep in mind, like I said, it looks like a lot of prints, but based off the way that I'm seeing the prints coming into here, I just don't really. I'm not as confident in as much of a move as I would be in a different type of stock, just based off of the personality that we're seeing in it this morning so far. Because like I said, I mean, just based off of there's very thin orders, but there's just really not having, like I said, just not having a problem really giving those bigger prints. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Definitely need a bigger pull up from what we're seeing so far. But at the same time, like I said, if it was just a regular $40 stock and I didn't kind of see a different personality in it, I would definitely be looking for a pull up to this print line. But I'm going to definitely start a lot lower. I'm going to be looking for 4150 first, just to start there, and then we'll kind of take it from there to see if we get our riders to come back in. Just because, once again, personality. If it shows that a huge amount of prints don't really move it that much, you can't expect the stock to move as much as we would on a normal one. And then I was looking at GME, which you guys know my opinion on this. I've been saying this for, God, I don't know how long. I hate this guy. It's just not a real company in my eyes. I mean, it's just, I cannot see a purpose that it fulfills in the market anywhere. It's just selling. They went to try to sell comic. When your last ditch effort to save your company is to start selling comic books, it's usually not going to look too good, and that's what we can kind of see here. I'm going to be watching it just because it looks like we should be able to get $1 out of it somewhere in there, but overall, it's really, I'm reaching big time. There's just not really much there for us to even really be looking at. I'm going to put it on our side list, and I'm going to keep an eye on it, but it's, like I said, I'm definitely reaching here. Let's take a look at our scanners. Let's see if anything new is come on out there, because it's, we got some movement overnight. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely, like I said, overnight, but there's just not really any type of real trading that's going on out there that I'm seeing. Any prints, I'll take a look at it in a second. So we can see EVGN, absolute garbage. It's got good volume, but other than that, Apron is, is 100% a quant stock, so I have no interest in that. APTX, I was looking at it before. Okay, and I understand, this is an easy stock. If you look over there, it's the third highest volume trading stock, in the market right now. Actually, no, that can't be correct. Okay, either way, but it's, it was at the top of the gainers, and it looks like it has all the variables of something that we would look to trade. I just don't see anything here that really shows me that the stock needs to get back up anywhere. Coming back, if it lets me go all the way, yeah. Okay, so we could come into 8 o'clock this morning, and you can see you have the Laker prints that we talk about. Okay, they have those purple and yellow. So what we want to do is we want to look at the bottom level to the top level, being bullish above and bearish below. But I just don't see enough real buying around there that makes me think the stock has to come back up. I mean, most of it looks like it was just covering, coming back on the way down because the fact that it jumped up on absolutely no volume and they just kind of rode it back towards that downside. So I'm gonna put it on our list just because there's nothing else out there. But I don't see anything here that on a normal day I would even look twice at this stock. So beggars can't really be choosers, but once again, I am not happy with it at all. I don't see anything that it really needs to do. Absolute garbage. AMD's moving, a little bit, but not going to be something that I'm going to be focusing on first thing in the morning. I'm just, going to be looking for higher probability, easier looking trades than this one. Remember, AMD is a harder trade because of the fact when you come to a 28 level like this, you get a bunch of buying, then a bunch of selling, then a bunch of buying, then a bunch of selling, then a bunch of buying. It's too mixed for me to be looking at first thing coming into the morning. Now, once it kind of settles in a little bit, especially from that 28 level, because that 28 level just has a terrible mix of all different types of prints. I'm just not really, anything that I'll be looking at. Riot, I will. Did I skip Riot? Yeah, 170,000 shares. Yeah, I skipped Riot for a reason. We're reaching big time. I mean, look at it's got 174,000 shares, but look at the way that's traded. There's just nothing there that we can that I could justifiably put on my list to look at in the morning. SPGL, absolute garbage, nothing going on there. CLF, I remember we used to trade that all the time, but not really any type of a day trade anymore. And then MT, absolute garbage, not doing any type of real trading. Now, moving over to the loser side, the list is a lot smaller. So we have ADXS, which I don't really see anything here, once again, to give us any indication that the stock not only needs to come back up, but even needs to trade a decent amount. Now, I know the volume is absolutely phenomenal compared to what we usually see in it. So from there, I'll put it on a side list just because I'm curious. When we have an anomaly like this, on average, it trades, less than 1 million shares, and that's taking into account the volume that came in yesterday, which was absolutely huge. So when it still trades less than 1 million shares, and we're already at almost 600,000, it's something I'm going to keep an eye on. But it's at the bottom side of my list. Coming along, AVEO, absolutely nothing. GME, we've already talked about. UTT, 580,000 shares, nothing going on there. We already know about STNE. Let's see. What does F mean next to hard to borrow? Means like failure or something. HB is hard to borrow, then F is like something to do with them not having their paperwork in. So if they don't get their paperwork in like a certain amount of time, they can get to list. I pretty much ignore it. OPT, not so much volume, but nice pattern. Let's see, OPTT. Yeah, I'm gonna say, it's probably one of the better things, just chart wise, that it looks. I will put it on our list, but the volume is disgusting. It does have a few ask prints that came in at that 7 level, but it's definitely better than most of the stuff that we're seeing going on out there. It looks like it just started to get a little bit of interest as we started our meeting. So yeah, I'll definitely put it out there. So as pretty much the past week has been shown us, patience. No reason for us to go out there and try to force anything. There'll be trades. There might not be a ton of them, so we're going to want to be more picky with the percent trade that we take, going on out there. Remember, you don't want to get caught up in a trade that's 60% when it's the beginning of the market, because we will find those 80, 85, 90% trades that go on out there. Now, anything else out there that I missed? Anything else that we see? Just to make sure, we had selling at Stein, STNE. If you go back all the way back down here, look at that. You tell me. All right, guys. So that's it. You know, there's not really too much out there. Yeah, there's not too much out there, guys. You know, it is what it is. You know, we will find those trades. It's just a matter of you know, let's put what we learned to work this morning. All right, guys. So I will talk to everyone in the chat and happy trading.